Hello, good evening, good afternoon. Whoever listens to this presentation, I hope you're doing great and having a great day. This is Suren here talking. In this short video, I'll be presenting and talking about our project, which is called eScooterChain Smart Mobility, Smart Payment by Suren and Asaf. All right, let's get started. So our presentation comes in three parts. In the first part, we're going to be talking about the problems. What are some of the problems that we are trying to solve with our project? And in the second part comes the key findings of our project. And in the third part, we're going to be talking about the execution of our project. All right, let's talk about the problems first. What are some of the problems that our project can actually fix? The first one is the first and last mile problem. One of the most pressing challenges facing public transportation today is the first and last mile problem, which is the distance someone needs to travel from a transit stop to his destination or vice versa. According to recent findings, over 46% of people prefer to take buses instead of other forms of travel. However, transit stops most of the times only provide transportation to a preset or high traffic locations, leaving many people to walk the first leg or last leg of their trip. All right, to the second problem, monopolization by big corporations. So there is no doubt these corporations are really huge and they've taken a good share in the market, but they're all centralized companies. And by using the services, you'll be exposed to the third party risk, which is a gap that we can solve with blockchain and our smart contract. And the last problem is CO2 pollution by current transportation means. It's obvious to everybody that the current global transportation sector is a major factor in polluting our environment. Just in 2021, 7.3 billion metrics of CO2 was produced by this sector. While, on the other hand, our alternative, e-scooters, are fully electric and has zero carbon emission on our environment. All right, next to how key findings. When we thought about this project, we had one goal in mind, which was connecting smart contract technology to a real life physical product that the user can actually feel and touch. Our objective was to take this technology and connect it to the real world in order to prove its viability. So that was the whole idea and the main reason behind choosing uh, this project, eScooter Chain. So, in order to make our product practical and market ready, we had no other choice but to give up some of that decentralization that we've been talking about by choosing Binance Smart Chain. But there's one bright side about choosing Binance, which is lower fees, and by doing so, we can make our product practical and competitive from the business point of view. So speaking of market, as we looking at the market numbers, we realize a huge potential for our project, and we expect a massive and a huge growth in a couple of years. And the main difference here between our project and the other companies' service, which we label them as two Web2 providers, uh, is the ability to penetrate a young audience that relates to crypto payments and will enjoy traveling in a different way. And by that, we freed users and customers from the tie of big corporations in the field and make it more accessible to be part of the ride sharing ecosystem. And obviously, we are planning to penetrate all relevant markets, but first, conducted proof of concept in a suitable market will be Tel Aviv here. And the reason we chose Tel Aviv is because it's a very dense and crowded city with non-satisfying public transportation. And definitely, we will gauge the number of loyal customers, a number of riders per day, as key metrics to assess market demand. Our main source of income will be uh, the, obviously the fee, the renting payments, uh, but we intend to expand to delivery services as well. And last but not least, the executive summary. So, as we already know, we proposed a smart contract solution for micromobility to manage collaborative scooters while integrating we integrated crypto payments into it. And in our case, of course, BNB is specifically chosen, and that's for we already covered that why. And as with any bike or car rental, our project primarily serve people who don't have access to a vehicle or bike. That's typically travelers and tourists, or even for those locals who drive an e-scooter will be more convenient than driving uh, their car in a especially in a rush hour. That's why our e-scooter typically operates at city centers, parks, and other locations that tourists are frequent. And as for the system, e-scooter rental system rent by the day or weeks, and this also provides an excellent opportunity for those tourists who would like to avoid shipping their own bikes and scooters, but would love to do a multi-day scooter tour in a particular area. And as for our mission, smart contracts and Web3 ability uh, is used here to transform and fill the gap in city infrastructures to create an adequate door-to-door transportation means that benefit everybody involved in the process. And of course, this is going to release the people and the users from the tie a big corporation while we integrated crypto payment into the process. As for the products, we need a decentralized application powered by Solidity smart contracts. We need this application to link our customers, our users, to our main product, which is the e-scooter. And for that, the user should have a wallet. As for strategy and implementation, we already discussed that we target a young audience because the young generation loves crypto, and we think we have a good and positive outcome among them. And we also intend to use all new media platforms and even crypto communities to reach out to our targeted audience. And the competition is going to be hard because we already have companies like Lion, Bird, and Wind, which they've taken a good share in the market. But one thing that we have, one point that we have advantage over them is they offer a very centralized way of operation and non-crypto only uh, payment method, which is a good point for our project. And the last, as for the market highlights, after we look at some data, some numbers, we expect an annual growth rate of 15.4% within 3 years of our project. And that's a huge number, that's a huge segment in the market. And that's totally enough to run our project to another level. So that was our presentation. Thanks for listening.